All right, welcome to another episode of Between Sets and Snacks. Today we have on our guest Anthony Akinrinmola. He is a certified personal trainer, a fitness coach at Equinox Sports Club. He is an actor slash model, beautiful human, and he specializes in Olympic lifting. Anthony was also born in Nigeria, but grew up in Baltimore. Anthony, thank you for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
Anthony, can I just say we've been having a lot of beautiful people on this show.
Well, I was gonna say it's nice to have another model on the video. Yeah. You know, having a look
other than Joey.
I've been having a look at you all day, and it's sort of bringing the vibes down. But Anthony's here now, and so I'm very thankful.
He's here to save us.
Kenny's haircut looks kind of good though. He's looking.
He's
looking kind of fly.
I knew we had a model coming on. I was like, I gotta step my game up.
It's very true. It's a great haircut. But anyway, Anthony, the first and most important question: what is your favorite snack?
Don't say me.
And if you can't think of one, give me a top three.
I promise you I wasn't going to say you.
Top three. Oh, but just at least stroke my ego a little bit.
I love, the Boom Chicka Pop popcorn, purple bag?
I think I do, actually.
Yeah.
That is my guilty pleasure. That's definitely number one. And then I love candy and chocolate. Like any kind of candy. Like my favorite candy though is probably
sweet or sour.
Sweet.
It sounded like you were gonna say sour, and then you hit that left turn.
I wanted to say both, but I'll just choose one. If I were to choose, it'd be sweet.
Okay, there you go.
See. So yeah, definitely the Boom Chicka Pop.
Okay. Can I ask you, as a fan of candy and chocolate, you said, have you ever heard of a Take 5, and do you like them? Because
Take 5? No.
Oh my gosh.
What is that?
I have it right here. Actually,
it has like 5 different ingredients in it. It's like chocolate, peanut butter, pretzel, nougat.
Yes.
Oh, this is Reese's? Yeah, no, I've never heard of that.
First of all, it's Reese's.
Reese's.
No, it's Reese's.
It's Reese's. Do you know why? Because the guy's name is Reese. It belongs to him, so it's Reese's.
No.
That's why it's Reese's Pieces.
I'm with Anthony on this one.
Did you say Reese's Pieces?
Yes, actually.
I don't know what to say. You're tacky and I hate you.
You know what, Kenny? For once, you're the minority. How about that?
I've never heard anyone say it's Reese's.
I haven't either.
Well,
you're the only one.
Pronounced correctly.
Okay. All right.
So if your name was Reese, right, and it belonged to you.
This isn't about me.
Yeah,
it's always about you, dude.
It's about the brand and the company. What sounds better to consumers?
It's not what sounds better. It's what's correct. And also, why would you call it Reese's Pieces?
I don't know, actually. I've always asked that question, but...
Because it's wrong. It's Reese's Pieces. It rhymes.
Yeah. I've literally never heard anyone say Reese's Pieces.
Well, you've never heard anyone say it correctly. So, next question. Or first question. Joey, hop on in there.
Yeah, I could go a lot of different ways with this, because I was going to ask like some joke question about being a model, because, when I first got approached to be a model back in the day at the mall, someone came up to me. It's like, wow, have you ever been interested in modeling? And I said, no, but thanks for asking. And
someone was trying to scam you so hard.
And then the woman, she said, no, not you, kid, behind you. And she pointed to my sister. And I was like, damn.
And if you've never met Joey's sister, she looks exactly like Joey, just with long hair.
Much better looking.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, but anyway, no. My real question is, so Kenny said early on that you do Olympic lifting.
Yeah.
When did you make that jump or that mindset where it's like, all right, well, I don't want to just lift to lift. I want to like for real do this. Like, when was that?
So I started lifting with my high school football team in like sophomore year, or it was junior year, and they were doing like power cleans and but they never really touched snatches. Then when I graduated went into college, played soccer my first semester. Then I stopped playing and I started lifting weights. I was like, man, like lifting is cool, but like the regular bench, deadlift, squat, it's so boring, you know? So I remembered, oh yeah, I really enjoyed doing power cleans. And then I would always like look it up on YouTube, look it up on Instagram, whatever. And then I just love the way the movement looks, the way it feels, the aggression behind it. Like it just looks so, and it's also really challenging. And I like to do anything that's a challenge. So I started dabbling with it. You know, like if you look at my before videos, hideous. But, you know, you keep doing it.
Yeah.
You keep doing it. And then I ended up just like sending it and doing it full on when I got into school at UM. Did some competitions here and there, and then I still do it now to this day. It always has felt the best to me. Makes you feel powerful and explosive, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I obviously don't have experience like that. Whenever I go to the gym, I'm just trying to work up a sweat sort of thing. But when Kenny's told me you're Olympic lifting, like my idea of an Olympic lifter, like when I always think of like these big, huge, burly guys that are just like little meatballs and they're just like lifting crazy. And then here you come in like actually like shredded. I'm just like, damn, there goes my whole perception of it.
Well, I also, Joey, when someone says Olympic lifting, do you know what that means?
Sure don't.
Yeah, okay. That's what I figured. I think in your brain you might be thinking powerlifting.
Yeah, I know both of those words. Fine. But if you're putting them together and asking me to use the context for them, I'm a little bit lost. So I'm happy that Anthony's and you are here to sort of explain that for me.
and that is the purpose of the podcast, right? Yeah. So I'm going to touch on what Olympic lifting is, and then I will have Anthony kind of take it a step further since he is more of an expert in the field. But Olympic lifting is very technical.
I see.
Right? So it's all about specificity of the movement. It's really all about the speed and the power of moving the bar. But I can't stress enough the technical side of it, right? So if you don't have the proper form, number one, you have a much higher risk of injury, and number two, you're not going to be able to your ceiling is not going to be as high as it can be. So that's why whenever you have like CrossFit gyms where people are doing high repetitions of this very form specific movement, and they don't have the proper training, they don't have the proper discipline to make sure that bar is moving the way it's supposed to move, which is why you like CrossFit gets such a bad rep, is because you have these general population trying to do these very form specific movements, and they're just doing it for like 20 reps, 30 reps, 50 reps, and it's like you need to make sure it's pristine.
That's like me when I go to the gym. Like, oh, let's just hope for the best.
Yeah, rip it, dude.
But
yeah, I mean, Anthony, if you can elaborate on that.
Yeah, and like Kenny was saying, it's very technical, very complex, and in competition, you get 3 attempts to do 2 movements. The snatch, which is basically moving weight from the ground to overhead as fast as you can, no stop in between. You get 3 attempts. Then the second movement is the clean and jerk, which is moving the weight from the ground to your shoulders, into your front rack, and then pressing it overhead. So you get 3 attempts for each movement, and that's it. So you do all this training for months and months and months for these 2 little exercises, for these 2 little movements. Maybe you're performing for a minute, 2 minutes on the platform maximum for a whole meet. And it's it demands a lot of mobility. So not only do you have to be strong, obviously you have to be strong to lift as much weight as possible, but you need to be mobile enough in certain positions to be able to get, the most out of your lift. If you can squat ass to grass, then it's going to help you a lot because you don't have to pull the bar as high, right? Because you can just get under it instead, right? So there's a lot that goes into it. Technically, strength-wise, like programming, it's a lot, but it's very fun to do as long as you're not hurting
let's
yourself.
do this. Just because, so Joe, I'm gonna form some questions just because I feel like it takes a little bit of knowledge to kind of properly ask certain questions.
Sure.
But then Anthony, Anthony, the goal is to be able to explain something in a way for someone like Joey to understand. So Joey,
I don't like the way you said that.
Joey is taking the role of the average Joe, right?
Let's pretend.
It's good that his name is Joe. So our goal is to be able to explain it to him so that more people who don't necessarily have an understanding of health and wellness it's more likely to follow along.
Right.
So let's do this. Can you tell us your favorite Olympic lift, what that entails, and then what it takes for you to warm up properly in order to complete that lift?
So, great question. There's the snatch and the clean and jerk, right? I personally am more comfortable and prefer the clean and jerk because I was taught to me first. And for most people, it's going to be a lot less scary than the snatch. Because the snatch, if you've ever seen it performed, it's one movement and that's it. There's no stopping in between.
And my shoulders don't bend that way, so when I see people do it, I'm like waiting to hear it pop. Yeah.
Yeah. So I love this clean and jerk. It's practically a deadlift into a front squat and then you stand it up and then you split jerk it above the head, right? And in order to properly warm up for that, you need to make sure your thoracic spine, right, is ready. Your hips, knees, and your ankles need to be ready because you're going to be getting into that deep squat, that deep front squat. And then you need to make sure your mobility in your lats is ready to catch that bar when you get into that deep squat, right? Because I see it all the time. People like trying to do Olympic weightlifting movements and they're catching the bar like this. Their elbows are down to their side. When in reality, you need to be here with a nice front rack, right? So it's all about efficiency, making it efficient so that you don't have to work as hard, right?
Now let me ask, how long do you warm up before you even touch the bar?
I will probably warm up for like 15 minutes, and that will entail foam rolling if I feel like I need to foam roll a little bit, and then some dynamic warm-ups, of course, and then a lot of banded pull-aparts, a lot of shoulder mobility like Kenny was talking about. Being able to be in this position in a deep squat requires a lot of mobility and just warming up all those muscles. Sometimes I've seen these Chinese guys, right? Because they're some of the best weightlifters in the world. And they literally have their coaches like pulling their arms. Looks like they're going to break their arms because they just need to be so ready. Your joints need to be mobile. You need that what's the word, Kenny?
What are you trying to say?
The fluid. Synovial fluid.
Synovial fluid, yeah.
You need that synovial fluid going through your joints, right? So it takes anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes to get ready and even touch the bar.
Yeah, and then once you have the bar, how many warm-up pulls are you doing? Like, there's a whole progression before you even get to your lift, right?
Right. So I get to the bar. Now with the bar, I'm only doing some good mornings. I'm doing some pressing with everything with an empty barbell first. Some good mornings, some pressing with an empty barbell, some back squats, some front squats, some overhead squats. Just because, and I'm doing overhead squats to warm up for the clean and jerk because it's just part of like a general warm up. I'm not getting specific into that clean and jerk process yet. So I'll do my squats.
It's good to prime the muscles that are going to be activated for that specific movement.
For that lift, right.
Right.
So then after I finish all that, I'll probably take the barbell twice, doing all those things, the squats, the presses, even some side bends with the barbell. I don't know if Kenny, you've seen me in the gym doing that. And then I'll start with no more than a 45 to warm up my lifts. And in order to get to my top set for the day, it could take anywhere from 5 to 6, 7 sets before I'm even at my working weight. So it takes a long, like warming up takes
My
a really
God.
long time.
And how long have you been doing Olympic lifting?
I've been doing it like consistently now for, I would say, 3 years.
So for someone that's been doing it for 3 years and still has to do that much to warm up and get ready for that lift, think about not having that level of experience. Like you need to understand, and I'm speaking to all the people that are like interested in getting into it. It's like the professionals, the people that have been doing it for a long time, they still need to have a long warm up because they know everything that goes into it. So you can't just jump into these movements. There are so many things that come into play where you need to make sure that you're mobile enough. You need to make sure that you're stable enough. You need to make sure that all the muscles that are going to be working are already primed and ready to go, because these are explosive movements. And if your muscles aren't primed and ready to go, something can give. Right?
Yeah.
So it's so important. I can't stress it enough. It is so important to do warm-ups for your Olympic lifts.
Yeah. And something that I didn't even mention that we like to do a lot for warm-ups is plyometrics. So something I've been doing now, I'll do a bunch of pogo hops, which are just bounding off the ground as fast as possible. And then I'll do some broad jumps, and then I'll do some max vertical jumps, and then I'll do some jumps onto the box. These, most importantly, they help with the mechanics of the movement. So think about weightlifting. Whenever you're going to touch the weight to do a power clean or a snatch, it's basically like you're jumping. We have one of the exercises is called a snatch pull or a clean pull. And in that, you literally take it from the dead position all the way up and act like you're going to jump, even though you're not, because you have this weight, right? So plyometrics and jumps can really help and prime you for the warm-up as well.
Wow.
It's a lot.
You get all that?
That is so much going into it. So like how soon, like how far out do you actually start like prepping for like a competition? Like, you know, like pro athletes, you know, they have off seasons and things like that. Do you have an off season, or are you just sort of consistently going for it?
See, that's a great question. That's a loaded question because it depends on what type of athlete or what level of athlete you are. If you are a world level athlete, you have competitions throughout the year. You have to always be ready, right? Mm-hmm. Like there's worlds, there was just championships in Dubai, there's European championships, Asian championships, and you can qualify for any meet, and your prep just depends on where you are in your lifting journey. But I would say most people would probably take like 3 to 4 months to prep for a meet at minimum. Like if you have a meet that's next month, you should probably skip that one. You're not going to be ready for it. You know what I mean? So definitely take some time.
It might be your last meet.
So, I mean, like Anthony said, it's a loaded question. It takes a lot to... You should always be moving, right? So it's not like your off season looks like, oh, I'm sitting on the couch not doing anything, right? So there's a concept called periodization. So the way that it works is you can do like a muscular endurance phase, and you work to like a hypertrophy or like a muscle building phase, and then you can go to a strength phase, and then you can go to a power phase. And Olympic lifting kind of lives within that power phase, right? And once you kind of get towards your peak performance level, then you can kind of adjust the phase of training that you want to go into depending on the timing of when the competition is. So that's where it starts to get very technical. But all in all, you're always going to have movements. You're always going to be moving. And it's really, I mean, that's why Anthony and I have jobs, right? Because like it's like an art form. It's a science and it's an art, because it's like you're always kind of playing with those numbers and seeing like, oh, hey, if I increase the volume for this week, like where will that take us? And you're constantly getting that feedback based off the performance. But so periodization is like your off season may involve, hey, you're doing strength training, Or, hey, we're going to try to pack on as much muscle as possible. Or, hey, we're going to be trying to get your aerobic training as high as possible. So it's stacking these different types of training phases and trying to time that right for your actual competition or your in-season.
Yeah, and it's different for everyone because depending on where you are, you could be at your peak performance and maybe you need to just work on a few things, or you could be a beginner and you need to go through all those cycles like Kenny was talking about. You need to build some muscle before you can go into your power and strength phase, right? So it really depends. Like if you have a weakness in your overhead squat, then maybe we need to drop down to a muscular hypertrophy phase so we can get your legs bigger and stronger so that you can stand up out of that squat. So it really depends on where your technique and your lifts are, and that'll kind of put you in a range of how your training will go.
Yeah. Do you ever, like, when you're training for a competition, how big of a deal does nutrition play into your training? Because we've had, nutrition specialists on this podcast before, and they've obviously given great opinions. But for yourself that is participating in these competitions, how big of a factor does that play beyond the actual practicing and lifting?
In weightlifting, the goal is to stay below stay at your weight class, right? So you and your coach, you have a conversation, you decide, okay, I think this will be the best weight class for you. And from there, the goal, like I lifted at 96 kilos, the weight class. And basically my goal was
This is America, bud. What is that in pounds?
96 kilos is 212 pounds, 213 pounds. So my goal was to stay, I can't go above that weight. When I lifted, I was very much so an amateur lifter, so we didn't we need to make sure your nutrition is super dialed in, this, that, and the third. Anthony, just stay below this weight. And that was it, right? So come competition day, I was below the weight, and that was really it. We didn't have like a nutrition protocol and this, that, and the third. It's just stay below a certain weight. Of course, you're still following the general rules of getting your protein in, trying to make sure you have as much muscle as possible. And for me, it was a little bit different because I was also modeling at the time. So I had to try to also look good while I'm trying to, be as strong as possible, which eating as much as possible would have been to my advantage, but it would have been a disadvantage to my modeling. So it was like trying to balance all these different things.
It's like a catch-22 sort of thing.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh my God. Do you often find that, is it difficult to sort of find the fine line between, the modeling and acting, and it's like, oh, I want to be big as hell and just throw this weight around? Do you ever have to, think about it?
What takes priority?
Yeah, exactly.
That's actually a question I wrestled with at the end of last year because I had realized throughout school I focused a lot on weightlifting. I was competing. I was working out 2 to 3 hours a day. Then I was like, this isn't. I love weightlifting, but it was never the goal. It was something I picked up. So then I took a step back and I'm like, I need to dial it back on the weightlifting and get smaller. That's why I've been cutting. I've been trying to lose some weight because my aesthetic needs to look good for my other career, which is modeling and acting, which I put my everything into. I'm not going to be a world level Olympic weightlifter. That's just not going to happen. So now I just do it. There's no drive to, right? So my thing is modeling and acting. So I have to put my energy into that. So that has changed recently. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when I was faced with that decision as well when I was a little bit younger. And so it was very tough for me to say no to both of them. And so I just stuck with running podcasts with Kenny.
And look at us now.
Look at us now.
Look at us.
Thriving.
Thriving. Almost 100 subscribers now. Killing it.
Okay. Okay.
But, Anthony, we were talking... Go ahead, Kenny.
I was going to say, did you leave Nigeria because everyone looked as good as you, so you couldn't pursue modeling?
Yeah, Nigeria's just popping them out.
I left Nigeria when I was 3, so I didn't I had no idea what was going on, obviously.
So it wasn't your choice.
It was not my choice.
Your parents were like, "Damn, this is a good-looking baby. We better move. give him a better chance in the
Give him a
States."
chance.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah, man, I was 3. I haven't been back since 2012, so it's been like 12 years. Hopefully trying to plan a trip back sometime this year or sometime next year. But yeah, Nigeria is a wonderful place. Let me know if you guys ever want to go.
Let's go.
Yeah, I've always wanted to
Just
go.
tell Whit to watch the kids.
Just don't go without me.
Yeah.
So, Anthony,
and did I tell you? Did I tell you I have a second baby on the way?
No, you did not.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
got another boy on the way.
Another boy.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you.
You're about to be like me and my family. 4 boys.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Poor
awesome.
Yeah, we
Poor
got
Whit if
boys
that
popping out
happens.
everywhere. I know.
Poor
I know.
Whit, I know, right?
My sister has 2 boys. Whit's brother has 2 boys, and we're about to have our second boy.
Wow,
Oh my
that's awesome, bro.
goodness.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Your poor
anyway,
mother. Your poor mother gonna have to deal with 4 grandsons.
Jesus.
My God. But
When's the
She
expected-
dealt with me and all my friends coming home all the time.
That's fair.
Do you have an expected date? Or a
End of
month?
August. So August 27th is the due date, but we're probably gonna go a week early.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
Awesome, bro.
Yeah, it's
Glad to
exciting
hear.
stuff. Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
getting
Hope
on
you're
me for
sleeping more now, though.
No,
No?
no. There is no sleep.
Why do you think he's
So-
drinking coffee and Jack
no,
right
no,
now?
so, no kids.
I need an upper and a downer just to get through it.
Oh my goodness. So Anthony, big question. We were talking about anime before we started recording. In your opinion, which anime has the best workout music? Best playlist?
Workout music?
Well, you put it on in the background. Like I put Attack on Titan in the background when I'm just, doing my freaking 25s.
Yeah, man. Shoot,
Honestly-
the speech when they're running into
Yeah, I mean,
in the battle, dude,
you could just-
that'll get me
you-
fired up.
might freaking
I
slap
never,
somebody.
I don't think I like Attack on Titan's soundtrack for working out.
That's fair.
I'll tell you what, they had I don't know what season it was, but their intro where it's like got some screaming in it. Oh,
I'm pretty sure it's the last one.
dude, I get hyped up. for
Yeah.
that.
I remember you talking
Yeah.
about it with Malik Kenny.
Yeah, dude, like
I think it was season 4. But anyway,
gets me
Anthony,
going.
I want to know because go ahead.
This is a good question. I would probably, because I have an anime openers playlist, I would probably say Dragon Ball Z, of
Okay.
course,
Classic.
or this might be a surprise, but My Hero Academia has some solid
yes,
like they have
Yes,
some
dude.
banger workout music. I'm not gonna lie, they really do. Like
have you ever seen Assassination Classroom?
No, I haven't.
Or is it Classroom Assassination? No, I think it's
The one with
Assassination
the smiley professor.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've never seen it.
watch it.
Yeah.
It's the next thing on your list. I guarantee you, you're gonna like it. It's only
Gotcha.
2 seasons.
Oh,
Watch
that's really short.
Yeah,
Okay.
easy. Watch it.
Kenny is going to
It's
rewatch it, but he still has about maybe 700 more episodes of One Piece to get through.
Oh, dude, I'm
And it's
chugging along.
and it's not even over yet.
Oh,
No,
my.
no,
going.
right. They're still coming out with episodes. I'm worried about when I catch up and then I have to wait like every week for a new episode.
You're gonna hate yourself because that's
Yeah.
where I am at right now.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Now, Joey,
Yeah.
you didn't know this coming into it, but Anthony is one of the few people that I actually respect his taste in music.
Okay. Great.
Yeah, so I wouldn't mind having a few
He's
more.
one of the
music-
few,
music
the
questions
brave,
in
the
here.
proud.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm surprised. I didn't know that. I will take that. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
yeah. Like he impressed me with his knowledge and with his repertoire of music.
Yeah. Well,
I
Kenny,
like
you're
all
just
genres.
yeah. Kenny introduced me. I don't think it was just you, Kenny. There was a couple other people that maybe really started listening to country music, and I was one of those like get the fuck out of here. I'm not listening to country music. But
it took me a while coming from New York because, like...
Yeah, same.
Like, when I went to high school, like, country music was like, what? No, get that shit out of here.
Yeah.
But once I got to college and I was, like, beer in my hand, at a tailgate, pickup truck, blasting country music.
Yeah. Something about those...
I was like, all right.
Something about those jorts that just...
Oh, yeah.
The jorts that I was wearing.
Yeah, I know, yeah. You're like, so much room for activity.
Dude, there was a nice cool breeze blowing through. I was like, oh, get me fired up.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so we've established the anime stuff to play in the background. Do you have, like... If you had to pick like a movie soundtrack for your life in general, do you have a movie in mind? Because I was thinking about this when I was...
You're getting into the goodies.
Ooh, I know.
A movie soundtrack for my life?
Because for me personally...
Sounds like a Kid Cudi song.
Yeah. I was going to pick like Man of Steel. You know what I mean? Like...
For your life?
Yeah, because I mean, look at me, dude. Are you sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that? But no,
dude, anything from Hans Zimmer is fire.
Oh, amazing!
The man is a legend. He's so good.
And like, like not to get off topic, but like when they're making a new Superman, obviously. And so Anthony, you would know this either, but I'm a very big DC Comics guy, and so I take it real seriously. And so when they're picking out the cast and things like that, and like who's directing it, I was like, who's making the soundtrack? Because like Superman needs like the most banger of just musical themes, you know what I mean? And so. Yep. And so I was. You guys should worry
about the script because you ruined it for Henry Cavill.
No, it was very fair.
How do you feel about that, by the way? Not having.
I feel that
Henry Cavill was the best Superman.
No,
ever.
I don't think he was the best. I think he was like probably second best, and I think he could have been the best if, like you said, the scripts didn't fuck him over.
But that's what I'm saying. Like he had the most potential to be the best.
Yeah,
and it was just there was no script behind it.
Was just too many finished products that were just terrible, and it just sort of brings it down. But like I said, Man of Steel, phenomenal movie. Like I don't like the fact that they never came out with a sequel for that is wild, just unbelievable.
I hate it.
I know. It was unbelievable. And then so, of course, they're going to redo the whole universe. And, like, I don't know anything about
that's what actor. DC keeps messing up. DC
they had
tried to do the Marvel brutal. Thing.
Yeah.
But then they tried to jump from point A to point Z.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh, well, we can't do that, so let's start over again. And they've done that, like, 3 times already.
Yeah. And, like, there was a couple things where, like, Zack Snyder just didn't get with, like, Batman. Like, Batman was cool, but, like, just wasn't my cup of tea. Like, you can't have Batman killing people in the first movie. You know what I mean? Like, he's just straight up he has machine guns on his Batmobile and he's just taking dudes out. I'm like, I don't think so.
Doesn't that go against everything that he stands
literally,
for?
Like, the whole point of Batman is every life is valuable and he doesn't kill. And you just see Ben Affleck just mowing dudes down.
Have you ever seen the College Humor skit about that?
Oh, yes.
Where they're like, Batman doesn't kill people, and then he, like, shoots someone. He's like, oh, no, he's sleeping. It's fine.
He's just sleeping. It's okay.
He was like, I thought Batman doesn't use guns. He was like, this is a gun?
Oh, my God. Where were we?
Fitness. Right?
I was about to go off. I'm sorry. All right. Let me think. I gotta get back in it. Kenny, you asked a question. I'm thinking too much about DC Comics right now.
Yeah. Okay, Anthony, let's circle back to Olympic lifting. Mm-hmm. If someone were to come up to you who has never Olympic lifted before, where would you start them? As far as like, what would be your initial protocol within like the first week? Like, how would you get someone initiated with Olympic lifting that maybe has experience in the gym but just doesn't have any experience with Olympic lifting?
So the first few things that I would go through is just an assessment of their mobility uh, catalog. Can they deep squat? Can they press overhead? Like, fully press overhead. Just to see where they're at, because if you can't even get into those positions without a barbell, then we definitely need to make sure that those things are ready. And if those things aren't, then we're going through good mobility stretching routines before we even start. And then in terms of technicality for the barbell, I'm starting people with one, dumbbells, and two, a PVC pipe. Because in order to get good enough to reach the level of using a barbell, you need to understand how the movement works, how it feels. So you can do power cleans, you can do power snatches with dumbbells, and then we'll work on the actual technique of how it's going to feel with the barbell with a PVC pipe. PVC pipe it feels like air. It's really weightless, essentially. So I would progress them through that. And then slowly, as we get better with the technique and learning the positions is super, super, super important, right? So you need to know where your hang position is. You need to know where your power position is. You need to know where your catching position is. You need to know where your finishing position is, right? Your starting position. You need to understand the progression of the movement and how it feels before we even reach the barbell. And that in itself genuinely could take a week, it could take a month. It just depends on the athlete, right? And how quickly they're able to pick up those things. And then from there, we start with the barbell, empty barbell work. In different cases, the barbell can actually help people understand the movement better because it is weighted. So using a PVC pipe can only take you so far. Using a barbell when you're doing a front squat is going to be really beneficial, because I don't know if you guys have ever tried to do a front squat with a PVC pipe. It's terrible because there's nothing to bring you down. If you're not super mobile, then you're just literally going to have the PVC pipe under your chin, right?
Just choking yourself.
Choking yourself, literally. So that is really that's the progression. I use dumbbells and PVC pipes first to get a feel for the movement, to learn the positions. Then we move over to the barbell. We continue to learn the positions with the actual the barbell that you're going to be using. And then from there, we slowly progress. So, and we're not even going to touch a full clean. We're not going to touch a full snatch. Everything is going to be power work. So working that power position, working that overhead press, basics. There's fundamental movements of the snatch and the clean and jerk. One is overhead press, the front squat, the snatch grip deadlift, which isn't a regular deadlift, just deadlift from the snatch grip, your front squat and overhead squat. So if all those movements are not ready, then we're not even going to move into any real technical Olympic work, right? All of those you have to show me that you can do overhead squats. Show me you can do front squats. Show me you can snatch grip deadlift. Show me you can press all the way overhead. So if all those things are not ready, then you're not ready to go to the barbell and get to work.
That is the correct answer.
Do you often have your clients? Do they often come up to you and say how often do people actually ask you I want to learn Olympic lifting? I would assume as a personal trainer you get a whole spectrum of clients, but how many are asking you for that?
The gym that I work at is the population is not really
athletic.
I don't want to say athletic. They're not interested in the whole Olympic weightlifting thing. We have a lot of older clients, some younger, yes, but for the most part, people aren't really interested in it that much. I've been there a year and a couple months now, and I've probably only taught 2, maybe 3 people Olympic weightlifting, right? Or with people even interested.
Were they both on the younger side, or were they sort of?
Yeah, they were both younger. I have 0 older clients trying to do that. It's
I mean, Have you ever seen, like, in the years that you've been doing Olympic lifting, have you seen like an older person, like 40?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
We have,
Wow.
oh yeah, we have guys that are, I remember when I used to lift at CrossFit Seoul, we had guys that were like 50 doing Olympic lifts. When I used to teach at a not group fitness, it was like a CrossFit gym. And there was a lady, she was 74
Wow.
doing Olympic weightlifting. Like, it's not just for young people. It's not just for athletes. It's not just, everybody can do it. It's just whether you choose to or if you're interested in it.
But that's also the great thing about it being so technical is if you're able to have the proper form and technique, age really, I mean, obviously the older that you get, the harder it is to move. But it's like you see older people that are still moving some crazy amount of weight that Joey, you or me wouldn't be able to do just because.
Well, speak for yourself,
Fair. But like we don't have the actual technique in order to pull it off, right? So it's like it's all about leverage. It's like it's so technique driven that I can't do it just because I'm not properly trained.
Going off of that, like when Kenny's emphasizing this technique, I have guys that are, I told you I lift 96 kilos with 200 whatever pounds. There are guys that weigh 160 pounds soaking wet that can snatch and clean way more than me. And I'm not even kidding. Like, it's really not about how big and strong, like big and physically strong you are. It's a lot of it has to do with technique and being able to get into those positions quickly and with enough force so that you can lift the most amount of weight.
Yeah, that's the thing that I personally have to think about constantly is technique because, back in the day, Kenny and I used to work out together, which was great because he was there to show me these things. And so when I texted him however long ago, like, I want to get back into the gym, like, can you just, like, give me, like, some ideas of what to do? And he would tell me these exercises, and I'm going on YouTube before the gym, and I'm like, I think this is how you do it. And then when I get to the gym, like, nope, I just messed up my back. Like, I guess I'm done for the day, everyone. See you later. But, I mean, to hear both of you talk about how technical it needs to be and how that's, like you said, more important than size in some regards. It's really interesting, and as someone with a bad back, I can completely understand where you guys are coming from.
Yeah, and you mentioning that, like, going along with that, that has driven me to really focus and emphasize on form and technique outside of even weightlifting as well. When I'm doing a regular back squat or whatever I'm doing, I'm emphasizing that because I had hip surgery when I was 18. I was playing soccer, tore my labrum, fractured pelvic bone, this, that, and the third. So I know what it's like to go through a serious injury and have to, like, do the recovery, get back from it. And nobody wants to go through that. Mm-hmm. So that was a great learning moment for me, going into Olympic weightlifting, knowing how dangerous and technical it is and can be, emphasizing the technique all the time, making sure your warm-up is proper, making sure you're preparing your body for this load that you're about to put on it, right? So technique, super important. Weightlifting or not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it also helps, it always helps to have a second set of eyes on you, right? So, I mean, there's only so much that so far a program can take you, but like if you don't have the body control from like years of experience in the gym, I would always recommend getting like a workout partner or like having someone there that is able to like monitor what you're doing, see what you're doing, because in your mind you might think, oh hey, like I'm straight, like my shoulders are square, but you could be all lopsided because you don't have that body awareness yet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people who, number one, already have chronic pain or injuries, or people that are just not experienced in the gym, I always recommend investing in some sort of, like, training someone to just be there to have their eyes on you, because it's like build that good foundation and then you can go off on your own and figure it out. But like if you have no idea what you're doing, the probability of you hurting yourselves is a lot higher if you don't have that body control yet.
Yeah,
100%. That reminds me, Kenny, you're talking about sort of being a little lopsided. Do you remember like when I was really trying to bench press for like the first time? Anthony, I didn't start working out like for real until I was like, I don't know how I was, Kenny, like 21 or something like that, just because I was always naturally just skinny from playing sports. I didn't feel the need to work out. And I've always had the smallest and weakest chest I've ever seen. And so,
same here, bro.
I didn't want to say it.
Brutal. And so even when I was like really like working out, it like my arms grew, but not my chest. But I remember like benching, and like when I was pushing the bar up, like one side was like tilted. Kenny, do you remember that? You're like, why is your right arm so much stronger than your left arm?
Your left arm would stay down, your right arm would just go.
No, it's just because I was playing baseball and football, so the natural right arm.
Sure, that's what it was.
But no, it's just reminded me, Kenny, of when you were just anyway.
Yeah. So I mean, muscular imbalances are very prominent, especially with people that have played a lot of sports growing up. So, I mean, just another reason to have someone get their eyes on you. They don't even need to be a professional, right? Mm-hmm. So, I remember there was one time that I was a trainer at the time, and my now wife was watching me, taking me through a program, and I'm going into a hex bar deadlift, which, Joe, is like it's the deadlift bar that you can stand in the middle of.
Oh, yeah, it goes around you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm in it, and she's like, I want you to stand straight. I was like, I am straight. And she's like, no, your hips are twisted. I was like, no, they're not. And she like moved me into proper position. I was like, I feel like I'm totally out of place. She was like, no, you're perfectly straight now.
I didn't know I could bend that way.
Well, so it's in my mind. And the way that I have always worked that position, to me, I was straight. But having someone else, and I've been at this point training for over 10 years, right? Mm-hmm. But having another set of eyes being like, actually, no, your right hip is moving forward. Let me put you into that proper position. And now it's almost like, okay, I have to rebuild that foundation to like now lift properly, because I've been favoring one side over the other like for the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. So it's always good to have someone else like critique you and like set you up for success.
See, you need to move back to New York so I can get my second pair of eyes.
To be fair, Joey also got the Kenny that was not classically trained and was just ego lifting all the time. So I was projecting all the negative things that you should be doing onto him.
Yeah, no wonder my shoulder is still.
You and me both, man.
I remember, Anthony, when we were working out. So Kenny has always had a bad shoulder the entire time I've known him, and he kept like working out extra hard like before we would lift. And I kind of wanted to do that too, because I thought like, oh, we're about to do some crazy shit. And he's like, why are you like working out your shoulders so like, why are you warming it up? And I was like, isn't that what we're supposed to? He's like, no, I just have a fucked up shoulder.
you just monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah, exactly.
I would be doing specific rehab for my shoulders, and then Joe would come over and do the same thing. I was like,
look at us twinning. You know what I mean? Oh my goodness.
But in hindsight, it couldn't hurt what you were doing. Like, yeah, any extra stability that you're doing for your shoulders is going to be good.
It was great. I need to get those shoulders back. I will.
You guys got to start weightlifting. It helps.
I know.
So, when he says weightlifting, he means Olympic weightlifting.
That's something that, okay, can I dive into that real quick?
That's something
look, you just set him off right now.
That's something that Olympic weightlifters say.
Yeah, so...
They just call it weightlifting.
Yeah, because, okay, so Olympic weightlifters call Olympic weightlifting weightlifting.
because
But to general population, weightlifting is lifting any type of weights, but it's super specific for this subset of people. So whenever I say weightlifting, people are like what are you talking about? And then I have to explain Olympic weightlifting, this, that, and the third. And then the difference between powerlifting and weightlifting. So powerlifting is snatch, bench, and deadlifts. Olympic weightlifting is clean and jerk and snatch. I just want to put that out there for the people because everybody is always like, yo, you're such a strong powerlifter. I just look at them like, I could slap you. I could slap you right now.
Can I ask you both?
But you also do powerlifting. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I don't. Not at all.
Yeah, you do.
Honestly,
you do the squats and the bench. I mean, maybe
squat.
not as much bench.
I squat because it's super prominent in weightlifting. I don't bench. You know I don't bench.
I know. I was joking.
But you just mentioned deadlifting. I don't know where I heard it from or like where I saw it, like a YouTube video, but like, is deadlifting is that like a really like a worthwhile like exercise? Like, because I don't know if I saw someone who was like the general population shouldn't do it because like the cons outweigh the pros or something like that. Is that an actual thing?
I can speak on that. Yeah. 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 So, this is my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Barbell deadlifting. Unless you are trying to get better specifically at barbell deadlifting, it is not the end all be all. Right? So there are a lot of modifications that I would recommend certain people do in order to get the same benefits out of deadlifting, but you don't need to specifically barbell deadlift in order to get the same stimulus, right? So I'm trying to think of the best way to go about this because I can really go down a rabbit hole. What I use deadlifting for is a central nervous system stimulus, right? So a deadlift is you positioning yourself to use the biggest muscle groups in your body in order to get this heavy ass weight off the ground, right? So heavy to the point where you are shocking your central nervous system and creating change, right? So it's going to be a different type of fatigue that you're experiencing, right? That being said, for me personally, I have super long legs. I have shorter arms. I'm not mobile to the point where a deadlift is going to be the best for me, right? So I can modify with a trap bar deadlift, which has handles on them that sits a little bit higher. So I'm able to position myself more advantageously to get more weight, but also to do it safer. Another one is a rack pull, right? So you
said a rat or a rack?
Rack pull.
I was like, we have rat pulls in New York, but it's just not that kind of.
Yeah. So a rack pull is just starting that bar a little bit higher up off the ground. So I'm able to load it up with a little bit more weight and then able to still get that heavy ass stimulus without necessarily putting stress on certain parts of my body that doesn't necessarily need that stress, right? So if you are trying to get better at deadlifting, then you need to deadlift, right? But if your goal is to shock and stimulate that central nervous system, and you don't necessarily have that range of motion or ability to get it from that on the ground barbell deadlift, modify.
Yeah, because that's one of the things me personally is someone, like I just said, I struggle with knowing the correct technique. So I don't think I've ever like deadlifted, and I don't want to just because
I would not recommend
Yeah.
you start with deadlifting, right?
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of steps that you need to take before you would even do a deadlift, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for a population that has taken a hiatus in working out, I would always start them with what's called a GPP, or a general physical preparedness, which is essentially just like foundational building. It's an emphasis on the quality of the movement. It's a little bit higher in the rep range, a little bit lower in the weights. It's a more along the lines of like a muscular endurance, almost kind of hypertrophy, which is like a bodybuilding style. But really it's emphasis on the quality of movement. You take like a couple of weeks, a month to really get that quality of movement, get the muscles trying to figure out what the hell is going on again, and then you can kind of start getting into more bodybuilding style. And then once you're done with that hypertrophy bodybuilding style, then you can go ahead and pack on some strength type lifts, but you'd want to work your way up to it. You need
And then
to
we
kind
start
of-
weightlifting with Anthony, right?
Correct.
Exactly.
There you go. Oh.
Yeah, I think Kenny touched on it perfectly. I think that deadlifting is good if you want to be a deadlifter. Like if you want to be a power lifter, fine, cool. Then you have to. But if you don't have to put your body through that stress, there's tens of thousands of exercises that are going to be better for your time and your health and your joints than putting yourself through a deadlift.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
The risk to reward ratio is just
Yeah.
it's too great.
Absolutely.
Interesting. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. I have another fun question for Anthony. Do you have a guilty pleasure workout song that you just have in those headphones when no one knows what you're listening to?
I have genres. Can I put genres?
Yeah, sure. You want to throw some K-pop out there?
So it's close. It's honestly, it's kind of close. I have a playlist called Bops.
Mm-hmm.
And in this Bops playlist is all the songs from High School Musical, Camp Rock.
Ooh.
What else is it?
I was not
Every
expecting
Disney
that.
Channel animated show that you would see. And
Okay.
if I'm listening to that, I'm in a good mood. And I'm
Dude,
jamming
High
out.
School Musical
Yo.
slaps.
Bet on it while you're
Oh,
about
yeah.
to hit a PR.
That's a crazy song. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
crazy
dude.
song.
So,
You know what?
Yeah,
You-
that's.
You know what I just listened to the other day? It came on my YouTube channel. Did you guys ever watch that show? Like, what was it? It was like Jake Long, the American Dragon, or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
Oh
dude.
my goodness, I forgot about that show. And
That was a great show.
That was a
great show, great theme song.
Jackie Chan, right?
Yeah, he was in it.
Oh
but then-
yeah, he was in it.
But then they also
he was
had,
he was the uncle.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. And then they also had the Jackie Chan show, which was crazy.
Yeah, that show was fire.
Yeah.
That show was really
That
good.
know,
intro,
Jack-
he's like running
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
building as it's
Yeah.
collapsing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I love how
Nostalgia.
I love how like they probably brought Jackie Chan in for like the day, and they're just like, we just need you to make some funny faces, and then we're just gonna like put your face in over the cartoon, and then like you're done. And he's like, awesome.
Yeah. We'll just pay you out.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
he's
show
gonna
was great.
he's gonna be in the next Karate Kid movie. That's gonna be awesome.
They're making another one?
Yeah, they're
I
making.
think I
another-
did hear something about that.
It's gonna be like him and like Ralph Macchio. It's gonna be awesome.
I
Yeah,
don't know who that is.
the Karate Kid.
The original.
Oh. I was thinking
dare
of a
you.
child. I was thinking who's playing the kid.
No. Jackie Chan's playing the kid. He's the kid in this one.
So I have a gym playlist, which is all just like songs that make you want to run through a brick wall, like all like dudes screaming in your face type
Yeah.
songs.
Oh
And
my
then
god, that reminds me of so many stories. But I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead. Sorry.
Every once in a while, I'll listen to a song that like gets me super pumped up for absolutely no reason, and I'll add it to that playlist. So it's like I'll have a song where this dude's just like growling, and then the next song is like Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's like a song that gets me fired up, but it's just like it's like the drums and it's like island feel, and it's like let's go. But I'm
so much more the opposite.
Really?
If I'm lifting, I like heavy rock, but I like to be calm when I'm lifting. So I listen to like more.
Nice.
No,
He said no, absolutely.
I disagree with that mindset.
Someone screaming at me,
slapping you in the face.
But I went through a phase of I was only listening to John Mayer when I would work out.
How do you go over if I need someone screaming to John Mayer?
No, like straight up, it was like I was so like dialed in because the music was like soft and like pleasant. It got me so like focused in on what the hell I was doing, which I could see why it would be good for like Olympic lifting.
And then you go to
it got me like
Fathers
mentally
be good to your daughter.
Yeah, dude, I was slow dancing in a burning room and everything, man.
Anthony, during college, this kid used to be such a fiend with the aux. It was insane. Like if we would go, if we would go in there and someone's playing their music, he would just like straight up like unplug it and then put his phone in, and he would like he's saying, he would put the craziest shit on. And then, you know, like he said, he likes screaming stuff going on. When I'm lifting, I'm sort of like you. Like I don't want, like he would be like by my ear, let's go, go. And I'm like, I'm like, you need to calm down. Like this is not it for me.
It's not life or death.
I'm just getting annoyed. Yeah,
it is life or death.
Yeah, like if it falls, you'll pick it up. I don't need you just yelling in my ear. But anyway,
he's still in his sports phase.
I went through another phase of I would only listen to like Gaelic like war music. So like you'd hear like bagpipes and drums just like getting ready to like go to battle, and I'm just like
this guy was listening to the Braveheart.
He's listening to Braveheart and Lord of the Rings, like
and Lord of the Rings, fucking Gladiator.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
The Gladiator soundtrack is phenomenal, though.
Fire.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Fire.
I think there's a song on there.
Yeah, I was about to say, didn't Hans Zimmer?
Hans Zimmer.
Yep.
Oh my, the GOAT.
There's a song on there called "Now You See Me."
Oh yeah. I used to listen to the Gladiator soundtrack all the time when I studied.
So peaceful, so good.
Yeah.
So good. That's the shit that I can listen to when I'm.
Dude,
if I want to do a PR.
The song when he's like walking through the wheat fields, like with his hands like going over it. Dude. Bliss.
It's so funny. Like you ever like on Instagram and you see videos of like music like that, and you just see like just dudes in the comments like, "I'm ready to go to war right now." You know.
Well, so actually, what I've been listening to recently has been like Viking. It's
Viking.
Bjorth. Bjorth is the name of the I guess composer, producer.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, it just you hear like battle horns, like someone's blowing out of like one of the like animal horn things, and then just like as if someone's rowing to shore, like and like they're like beating on the drums. Dude, we're about to go raid and pillage, dude. I'm ready to go.
Send me that. That sounds like my steez.
Yeah. Bjorth. Broth. I'll text it to you.
Yeah. I appreciate Kenny's his diversity of music, because I'm very much this. If it sounds good, I'm gonna love it. I don't really like marry myself to a genre, you know. Yeah. I feel like you just take. There's so much out there. Why limit yourself? You know.
That's true.
Correct. Yeah, there was one day Anthony and I like took one of the front offices. And I think he was studying for school, and then he was playing a song. I was like, "Oh, dude, like you would like this," and then he was like, "Oh, you would like this," and all of a sudden we just became like best friends.
It's like 7 hours later, and you guys are both still saying,
"Yeah,
have you heard of this one?" Oh man,
music will do it to you.
All right.
Yeah, I'm really all over the place when it comes to like my gym playlist. Like I will do like like old school rap gets me where I'm trying to go. Like Eminem, Dr. Dre, like
that shit.
Yeah.
I
still listen to a crazy amount of 50 Cent, and I will never apologize for that.
Yeah. 50, yeah.
Well, shoot, actually, the most recent kick that I've been on, which I just sent to Anthony.
You look like you listen to like MGK or some shit.
What is
original?
Yeah, dude, I love that.
Starting out.
Great
when he started.
That's fair.
Dude,
That's fair.
only his when he went punk, dude. Like as much as I like disliked him as a person, he made a fire punk album. Like
yeah,
he made that one with Halsey, dude. That one with Halsey. Oh shoot, what is it? Damn.
I never listened to his punk stuff.
Oh, dude. Ticket to My Downfall was the name of that album. Like, as much as I disliked him, I think it was like top 5 album on my Spotify that year it came out, and I was just like, I'm ashamed, but I'm not because
do you guys actually remember like album names? Because I don't. I only know like 2 albums.
I just
no,
said
I'm just saying like in
MGK's,
No, I'm
which
just saying
is the
in
most
general.
random one.
I'm saying in general, like, do people actually remember album names? Because I don't. I remember songs, but like
I do if it's Paramore.
Yeah.
Fair. That's a great.
Yeah, I think it just depends on the like if it's a memorable album, then yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I just remember like the Tarzan soundtrack.
So I do, because what I like to do anytime I go on a long car ride, I like to play albums from the first song to the last song, like straight through, because I feel like there's so much more like artistic thought process that goes into that. So what is it, 1,000 Suns by Linkin Park? That album from start to finish is just a masterpiece.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you been playing that for your son? Like, have you been indoctrinating him?
No, but so there's this new artist. Well, he's not new. There's a new artist that I've been listening to. He's called Bill Murray, which is like the greatest name ever.
It's
and
copyright.
It's spelled differently.
Oh, Bill's with a Y or something?
No. It's like it's all one word, and it's like Bilmuri. Dude, but
Muri.
it is the most like meme. It's like meme music.
Yeah.
Because he like doesn't take himself seriously, as far as like the names of his songs are just like out of this world. But then the style, there is no style. It's all over the place. And it's so hard to describe, but it's like good music. So
what's the genre?
You
can't even
know. Right. So have you ever heard of the band Attack Attack?
No.
Okay, so it's almost like 2000 emo type, like All American Rejects almost style, but it's like a little bit like grungy, but then all of a sudden it's like country, and then he'll just have like a saxophone breakdown, and it's literally all over the place.
So honestly, like similar to Linkin Park, like Linkin Park has like, they have different levels. They have their screamo shit, they have their soft shit, they have their rap shit, they have like.
Yes, but he does it all within one song, right?
Okay,
so
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, so it'll be like,
that is crazy.
It'll start out with him just like growling, and then it'll just be like some like girl vocal, like very soft, and then just like go into like.
No wonder you like this guy so much.
Oh, it satisfies my ADD so much. So Anthony, write this down on your little notepad. Better Hell by Bill Murray. It's like Better Hell, and then in parentheses it's Thick Boy. But watch the music video.
This is
You better not be sending me no weird stuff, bro.
I don't know.
That shit's weird.
With him,
but
with
no,
him, you never
watch
know.
the music
You
video.
never know.
Yeah.
Watch the music video, and after you watch it, text me and say, let me know that it's the greatest music video you've seen in the last 10 years.
I wouldn't be surprised because music videos nowadays fucking suck.
Exactly.
It's true. It's true. But now, since
I don't even.
yeah,
Go
I
ahead,
was saying,
sorry.
since we're on the subject of music, so I was
That's,
thinking about
that's the majority of this podcast,
yeah,
to be
right.
honest.
We've been talking about anime,
And music.
But so I don't know if you guys follow baseball closely, but
No.
when the team brings in a reliever, a pitcher from the bullpen, the pitcher runs out to their intro song, right? Every batter has their songs when they go up to the plate.
Enter Sandman.
Exactly, like for Mariano Rivera. If you guys had to pick one song where, now remember, you're running from the outfield to the pitcher's mound, so you have like a good 30-second jog, and you want to pump yourself up and you want to pump the crowd up, because especially in New York, in the Bronx, if one of the pitchers has a reggaeton song, everyone's going crazy. So if you guys had to pick one song that you're just let's fucking go, I'm ready to strike this dude out, if you had to pick one song, what song would it be? For me, it would be Bad Bunny. You know what I mean? Just
Shut up.
Bad Bunny's fantastic.
Bad Bunny pumps you up.
Yeah.
I don't honestly think I've ever listened
Go to
to
Miami,
a Bad
dude.
Bunny song before, through and through.
No,
They
Bad
all
Bunny.
sound the same. They really do.
And then they're all good.
I don't want to be basic.
Oh,
and say,
Yeah, you're trying to
Mr.
judge
Brightside.
Bad Bunny. This freaking guy's talking about he does all these genres in one song. Fuck off.
Listen to it and then talk to me.
All right. So pick both of you. Pick
Well-
one song if you can.
So the reason I brought up Bill Murray was because I've been playing it when I drive Griffin to daycare, I'll play Bill Murray.
You're subjecting him to that.
And Griffin's just head banging in the backseat, just hey, Bill Murray's for the kids.
You gotta do an experiment. See if you play anything else if he's still headbanging.
Yeah, that's true.
He does. He dances to All American Rejects. He likes Disney music, but
Hell yeah.
But once Bill Murray comes on, he's just
That might be his guy.
yeah. But it's also that type of music that makes you do this.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
my-
some
I-
songs.
I think
Let
that
Anthony speak, man. He's been trying to bring this out.
it's about me.
I see you thinking over there.
My hype song. Okay, so I'm not a Lil Uzi Vert fan
Okay,
by no means,
but there's
But
one.
he has this song called, I guess it's called A or AYE with Travis. Bro,
Really, I actually really want to listen to
that shit. I'll play it. You guys think you could hear it right now?
No.
it. No.
No, dude, that song, the way it starts, and then the beat drop,
Ooh.
I would go crazy to that song.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Alright.
I'm by no means
Yeah.
a Lil Uzi Vert
We're
fan
just
at all.
we're talking strictly song.
Yeah,
So I always said if I had a walkout song, if I was going up to bat and they're only playing a little bit of the song, I would play El Chapo by The Game
Okay.
because it's just
So
so gangster, right? So it's I would walk out with a fat cigar in my mouth and using the baseball bat as a cane, walking to the home plate, right?
And then
but if I had
promptly strike out on 3 pitches.
Oh, of course. It doesn't matter. Everyone would be like, yo, who the fuck is this white dude coming out like this?
Guy's got something. He's got the juice.
And he doesn't have the juice.
Yeah.
But if I had 30 seconds to run all the way out, I honestly want to do some Mr. Brightside banger because
Oh, yeah?
if you
You want
if
some?
you get a
You want some
stadium,
white girl music at the bar,
dude, if you get a stadium singing along to Mr. Brightside, that shit goes hard.
I think the energy you would feel would drive you to go
Yeah,
crazy.
That's what I'm
true.
saying. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like if you're taking the crowd into it, and that's a song that everybody knows the lyrics to it. Like you could start the song, and then by the time I get there, and then the crowd just continues the song, that would get me hyped.
That's a great point.
There was a college football game where they played it. It might have been Michigan,
I think I saw that video.
and it was like electric.
Yeah, I think I saw that video.
I think I remember seeing a video where like they played like Darude like Sandstorm, and like the whole crowd was going wild too, and I was like, oh fuck, that's great.
Yeah, but I also feel like Mr. Brightside would fit my personality so much because it's like I am just like that white dude,
Yeah,
right? So it's like
You were that basic.
it's like you pick that basic ass white people song, and it's like almost
Yo, that song is
self-aware.
one of the best songs.
It is timeless
ever
though.
created.
I'll
It's
give you that.
So good.
Dude,
We're gonna be 40 and
So
50, and we're gonna like hear that come on, and we're just gonna like lose our
Hell
minds.
wait.
Well, I'll be 30.
If not,
You guys will
Yeah,
be
if
sorry,
not,
the gray hairs are still.
if not, Mr. Brightside.
You're
it
gonna
would
say
be
something
I
like
Write-
Paramore.
I Write Sins, Not Tragedy by
Oh.
Panic at the Disco.
Okay.
Panic at the Disco.
Dude,
Oh,
if
if you
I'm
guys
running
ever-
out there and it's like, I chime in with
Yeah.
the half.
You're like, I don't even want to pitch anymore.
No, just keep it going.
Just keep it going.
going.
You're safe.
Do you guys know the song "Shake It" by Metro Station?
Yeah, it's like
Yes,
shake,
of course.
shake, shake.
Dude, me and my brothers used to listen to that song on fucking repeat. And I
So-
think that would be one of my walkout songs.
Okay, that's good.
There,
I love that song.
there is a video in my phone that I will never ever delete, and it is me and Malik and Aaron. Which Anthony, you don't know them. Joey, I don't think you know Aaron.
I met him one
We-
time.
we-
I think we were both very drunk, but
That makes sense.
I think it was,
But we had
so-
Malik on here on one of the podcasts, and we are just shaking a tail feather to that song, and it is just like a
So
core
great.
memory. So Joey was my ride or die in college. Like anytime I needed to go out and just like shake a tail feather, I'm like, Joey, like let's go. And then we would just clear the dance floor.
They used to call us
And,
Jackie Chan and Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg fits Kenny so well.
I know,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
So good.
So we would go out and shake a tail feather, and then he left, and then I went back to Tallahassee, and I found some people to replace him. So
That's not a
I
good
know.
friend.
I know, right? Wow. Call him out,
they,
Anthony.
they never
Fucked
filled
up.
the hole completely.
That's fucked up.
Fucked up, man. Oh, man. Well,
Joey, can you even dance anymore?
I can't. I just got to oil up the joints a little bit.
The synovial fluid, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You
The
gotta get
synovial
Like
fluid.
you
You just gotta get the warm up going.
You guys remember Wizard of Oz, where like the Tin Man needs the oil and the little. That's me right now. but-
W.
Yeah. But once I get
Yeah.
going, though, y'all better watch out. Oh man.
Joey, did you ask all your questions?
I did. I asked all my questions. Anthony was fantastic. I learned a lot actually, which is the whole.
He learned that he's not ready for Olympic lifting.
Yeah, fair. But I also learned about it, which is very interesting to me because, like we said early on, I had a different perception about when you said Olympic lifting. I have this idea of what I think in my head, and Anthony shed a whole bunch of light on that, which is fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
man.
Good.
I love.
All right,
talking about
Anthony.
weightlifting.
Let's go ahead and plug all your Instagram, whatever it is that you're selling. Now's the time to do it.
OnlyFans is X. I'm just kidding.
I was saying that your camera quality is pretty good, man.
You got that ring light.
Yeah. I'm on Instagram, Anthony Akinrinmola. Just, I don't know if you guys have my name pulled up or anything, but
Yeah,
Anthony
I'll
Akinrinmola on
tag it to
Instagram.
the YouTube video, and we'll post some Instagram videos too. I'll tag you in that.
Dope.
Awesome.
And then I'm also on YouTube, My YouTube is in my Instagram bio, so you guys will be able to see that. And stay tuned. You guys are gonna see me in some big commercials, big campaigns coming up. So
Nice.
root for your boy. I'll
That's
be
awesome.
everywhere. Trust.
Anthony,
Awesome.
thank you for coming on, man.
Thank you,
Thank
Anthony.
you guys for having me. I appreciate
Absolutely.
it. You guys are funny as hell.
We try our best, man. All right, good night, everybody.
Good night,
Love.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right.
All right.
Anthony, you can